Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are shifting gears a little bit. We are going to the lower bracket, losers round of 5, and I'm super excited to show you a new map. It is Serene Isles. Fortunately, this is the first time we are seeing it, but I'm really excited to see how this works because on paper this is kind of like a 2-1v1 map, I think. But we'll see how this works out. Very interesting design, very interesting shape, of course. Designed by Maxing and the team, so Crystal Sun, R3 Code, Vanity. So make sure you thank them. A really cool looking map. I wonder how Navy would be on this map, but of course in this matchup we don't have any possibility of that. We have 4 Aeons, and let's go ahead and start with our team to the west. It is our... Sorry, the teams are flipped, and I looked at the thing, so got confused me for a second. This is Hexnuts, and we have Alpha Hex spawning as our brown Aeon commander, and we have a Cone as the blue Aeon commander. Both players going a land. Their opponents are a Awasi, and he's the purple Aeon commander, opening up with the triple land factory. His teammate is the white Aeon commander. It is Fox Tremolin, and he's opening up with a double land factory as well. So everybody's going land. Not really a shocker there. We will see what anti-Aeon is able to do here. Awasi is going to need to hold this push from a Cone. That will probably happen, although he is in a good spot here already. He is has triple factories there and looking to sneak a little mobile missile launcher in the background. Looks like Fox Tremolin as well. I mean, shouldn't this radar cover that? I know Aeon radar is shorter, so we'll see if it covers that. But if this is able to make it over there, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I doubt that anybody really practiced this map. This is probably one of the newest maps we have. And I don't know if very many players actually played on it, with the exception of maybe Fox Tremolin and Awasi, but we shall see. We shall see what happens. We already have Shadjas here. Let's see how Fox Tremolin deals with this. I wonder if he even realizes that these are Shadjas. Alpha Hex's whole existence in this tournament has been based on Shadjas, it feels like. But yeah, they are quite effective. They are quite effective. Fox Tremolin is going to send his tanks up. And we will see if he sometimes, at least 2 years ago, he would sometimes just send one tank up. And if Alpha Hex actually holds fire, I think he knows. I think by the way Alpha Hex is splitting his units, Fox knows that this is actually, yeah, he's going to double check with one tank and actually saves it. Nice. I don't think it was going to live. There's no way it's going to live, right? Oh my god, that tank is going to live. Holy shit. Ah, I jinxed it. I jinxed it, guys. That poor tank. That poor tank. Fox Tremolin deciding not to send his ACU forward. Meanwhile, we do have an engagement here between Awasi and a Cone. Both of these players are pretty good on land. Just got a micro. That ACU is a little caught out of position. You got to bring your tanks forward, Awasi. I feel like Awasi was winning this fight up until that point, but he just ate a little too much damage on that commander. Re-engaging, though, seems to have the numbers because of that triple factory being up earlier. And of course, we now have that mobile missile launcher making its way over here, but it was not rallied to a really good spot, unfortunately. And this might actually give away what Fox Tremolin is trying to do. He should see this. No, he shouldn't. No, he probably does not see it. Oh, that's so sad. He needed 4 shots on it. Let's see if he manages to get 2 more shots out, but I doubt it. He is microing pretty well. Just needs 1 more shot. I don't think that's going to go. And actually, he was... Yeah, that mobile missile launcher decided to target something else. Meanwhile, engagement on the bottom. I am so sorry, guys. Fox Tremolin just completely overruns Alpha Hex's position. And yeah, Fox Tremolin is going to take the win here on the bottom. All right, so then that means that Awasi just has to hold long enough. There's a shield on the factory, so not bad at all. The double Aeon of the anti-Aeon, it's kind of an oxymoron here, is holding very well so far. Of course, Okon is not out, but he has to basically finish Awasi now. And then we will see. Yeah, we have another mobile missile launcher coming down here, and it's not even close to really... there's nothing really close to take care of it unless this engineer manages a miraculous capture. Awasi might not even need the help of his teammate, however. Akon is in the red here. Couple more shots would do it. Oh my god. 600 health. 600 health was left on that ACU. Like literally one more volley. Is Akon just going to give up? I'm like, if you're not giving up, then you're very, very brave. Holy dang. Yeah, Alpha X is going to call GG. There isn't really much hope here. Although I will say that Foxtremolin is not really expanding very well off of this. I would love to see this engineer just being sent forward right away. But now, yeah. Now there's reinforcements have arrived here. And the anti-Aeon, they're facing double Aeon, so maybe their name is more weight than I realized. They are able to take care of this game quite handsomely so far. Awasi's bane of existence has been mobile missile launcher fired at the face, though, so got to be a little careful with taking that fire. Foxtremolin going to push forward, rotate those units backwards. Nope, he's just going to eat the damage. There are point defenses here now, so we might need mobile missile launchers at some point. Just pull back for now, I agree. There is a missile launcher upgrade on this factory, however. And it looks like we just need to kill this engineer. Oh boy. Honestly, that engineer could just capture that and be fine. Yeah, I think this is just gonna be a slow death again, guys. Let's watch something. Oh, okay, Akon just GG's. All right, so yeah, that was a game one. It is a best out of 3 now, so we are going to go to match number 2. I believe it's on Thunder Path, but I'll double check. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our round 5 match of the losers bracket. We are back on Thunder's Path, a game between Anti-Aeon and Hexnuts. I am finally joined by our co-caster for the tournament for the exciting part, I think. Spiv, say hello. Well, as always, hang on, sorry to cut you off. As always, there seems to be a problem with the outputs. So let me fix that really quick. Device. To be expected. Try now.
Check. Good,
yep,
good.
We can hear you now. Awesome. All right, now go ahead and say hello.
Wow. Okay. Hello, everyone. Spiff joining Knight here for the exciting part of the tournament, like he said, and I'm really excited here because I haven't really seen any of these new maps. I've been really busy, haven't had a chance to take a close look at them, so I'm excited to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, absolutely. These maps have been very close quarters so far, but let's go ahead and jump into the introductions. I'll start with the top side. We have our team Hexnuts, represented by our double Aeon team of Alpha Hex and Brown. He's opening up with a double land factory opening, and his partner, the green Aeon, it is a cone, opening up with some air. Who we got on the other side, Spiff?
On the other side, we have spawning in as the white Aeon, someone whose name I do not know how to pronounce.
Fox.
Oh, that's Fox. Okay. Well, we've got Fox here then. That makes a big difference. He's gone for a double land factory opener, and he's producing plenty of tanks here as he expands forward. And his teammate and clanmate, it is AA Awasi, spawning in as the purple Aeon. We got an Aeon Slugfest here, and he's gone for a pretty simple 2 air factory opener here. We haven't really seen any air engagements yet. Both players just sticking back and covering their own side of the map.
Yeah, I believe there was just a scout that's gone earlier. I think there's a wreck near anti-Aeon side of the map there. But other than that, both of these teams are sticking back. And this time from Alpha Hex, we have Harvog opening, which is quite nice here to provide that additional anti-air coverage.
Yeah, I think ordinarily in a 1v1, Harvogs can be a really risky strategy. They move really fast, they hit really fast, but they are a bit fragile. So in a 1v1, going AA bots is, in my opinion, I'm rusty, but AA bots is a risk. But when you've got a team game here, I think it's a much better move because you can use that AA to cover your buddy, and he can use that AA to win air fights over your units.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And they're even better if you have a map that's kind of like almost like a spider web, or you have multiple paths, multiple ways of harassment as well, because those Harvogs are obviously faster as well and able to provide some coverage for anti-air as well, so they're not as easily defended against. So that is the one advantage here for sure for Alpha Hex. But these tanks, especially with that Bada Boom coming out, will be very formidable fight in a head-to-head clash here.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of space on this map for flanks. With these ridges here, it looks like flanks are going to take a little while to get around to the other side of the enemy. So it's not as easy to do that thing with bots that you usually do on a nice big map like Open
Mm-hmm.
Palms and just spread them out, present threats everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. I almost feel like this is kind of like an Open Palms map. Like it's designed to be very similarly rush distance, but to minimize, yeah, that micro, or I guess to equal the sides a bit. If somebody's a little more better at micro than the other player, it might be a little more even on this map for sure.
Yeah, and we've got Alpha Hex sending those bots out now for some flanking maneuvers, but clearly the radar, it's such a small map, the radar is going to be able to see these blobs of tanks moving and pushing him back. So I think, I don't know, it doesn't really look like he's trying to get in, just poking the edges here. Both teams just sitting back and building up their economies at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like Fox Melon is just rushing forward towards that teleport, which I think Alpha X might have realized, and he's building a research station to compensate for a little bit of a lead that he might have given his opponent going Harvogs.
He does manage to catch this mass extractor undefended, and it will go down.
Yep, very nicely done there.
And he lost one bot for that. I think that was just one bot for the mass extractor, and that's a fantastic trade.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bots are going to be up top as well, trying to flank, but there is a nice tank contingent there. I'm surprised there isn't any anti-air coming out from Foxtermelon. Tanks are going to engage the bots.
Yeah, Fox hasn't even put any AA on his factories, but at the same time, he hasn't needed it yet because Akon's planes have just been covering the bots. They haven't been aggressive at all, really.
Yeah, and Foxtermelon, you see the power of those tanks just pretty much annihilating those Harvogs there at the top. So trade-wise, I feel like it's a little more equal, but that mass extractor, well, I mean, it was a forward mass extractor, so it wasn't vetted or anything, but still, I feel like a little more even now.
I mean, really, that's the only damage that's gone down is one mass extractor and a handful of bots.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the score screen, it's still very, very close.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised Foxtermelon is not pushing with his ACU. It looks like he is sending his tanks forward now, but probably holding back his ACU. I'm not sure what he's fearing. Maybe teleport for some reason, but no, that can't be it. Probably just using his ACU to help speed up the building process for more tanks for now.
Well, Alpha Hex did open the game with the research station before he started putting down his factories. I would say he's likely to get to teleport first, even though he spent the money on unlocking Harvogs.
Oh, true. I did not notice that research station. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, it just depends on who might be able to get a good engagement here and get maybe some research points from some kills. Tanks are going to engage with the Harvogs. Bomb and run.
Okay, a few tanks go down in the splash there. Could have been a little bit better targeted towards the middle of the pack. And yeah, now Akon's planes are in a pretty good, well, they were in a good spot. Now they're forced to retreat. Yeah, I think Awasi is coming away with the better part of that air engagement at the end.
Yeah, it looks like there's more purple planes, despite there being anti-air support from those Harvogs. And I feel
And
like, yeah, anti-Aeon. Oh, go
that
ahead.
factory shield came up just in time to not protect the radar.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little too much anti-Aeon here. Both Fox and Awasi doing a really good job here. Let's see if... oh, wonderful engagement from a cone there, though.
Yeah, I think he's managed to take back the air control. If he could just focus a little bit on bombing these clumped up units instead of fighting planes, they could have pushed that attack away a lot easier. But with the cone tied up in the air, now he's won it. That's great. Fox is pulling his tanks back because now they're a little overextended and overexposed.
Oh, you know what I forget always is that Bada Booms apparently provide support to air as well. So that might have been why initially Awasi won that engagement. It's crazy how
Well,
that's a thing.
it's partly that, and it was partly positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Because he managed to pull a Cone's planes away from the AA for a little bit, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what caused him to get the upper hand. And then once they got back over AA, then it was Cone's turn to come back. And now, sure enough, he is bombing right in the middle of this group of tanks. He gets quite a few there. That was not a bad bombing run at all. He could be splitting these planes up though. He's got enough, I think, to target two tanks at once and do a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, it's crazy. Over the past minute, I feel like the match almost flipped on its
It
head
really did.
because, yeah, it felt like Foxerman and Awasi were going to win that game, and then it just a good, brilliant air engagement, and now it feels completely opposite.
Well, they're not out yet. They're not out yet. Uh, Ooh, that was okay. We got teleport coming out now for Alpha Hex.
Yeah, just manages
Now
to
it might be
snipe
open.
a anti-air tower and a mass extractor. Very, very nice. And now,
And
yeah,
Awasi has even started building land-based AA now, which I mean, that's a rough thing to have to swap into after
yeah.
winning the first air fight.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They're not out yet. This is definitely still fightable, but this is going to be very difficult, especially with those flares coming in for a cone. And yeah, now all you have to do is start to take out the mass production of your opponents.
And we got another teleport. Ooh, I thought for a second that was a teleport right onto the ACU, but no. Alpha Hex decides to go for the economic damage, and he's pushing straight into Awasi's infrastructure here.
It's really surprising
And
that
I
Fox
mean,
Tremolin doesn't have a teleport yet.
maybe he does, and he just hasn't shown it. Or I don't know. Yeah, what is he spending? What has he been spending his research on? Because like the tanks don't have shields or anything. I don't think he's put it into stars. Where has Foxtermelon's research been going?
Well, I don't think it matters, as we are going to go to game 3. Both Awasi and Fox Tremolin are going to GG out of that one, bringing us to a game 3 to see who is in the money. This is the last match to decide the final 3 in our tournament, so it's going to come down to the wire in game 3. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Ooh, excuse me. Knight, you and your timing. This is Biff coming to you with game number 3 of this series. And I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Knight to introduce our first team while I get a sip of water here.
It's all good. On the right hand side, we have Team Anti Aeon opening up with a bunch of lad factories from both players. We got AA Fox Melon opening up as orange Aeon, and the purple Aeon we have Awasi.
All right,
Yeah. Okay.
and on the other side, going in shoulder to shoulder, excuse me, we have Alpha Hex, the brown Aeon, and we have a cone, the green Aeon.
Wasn't sure if you were still dying. Sounds like you are.
I am dying. Take it away, Knight.
Oh Lord. All right, so it's going to be a classic, I think, double land push against an air player and a land player. Alpha Hex did open up with a research station, so this might be a difficult hold for our double Aeon team Hexnuts. And before this game started, Cone was saying you can't have fun in a mirror Aeon match. And I'm going to have to disagree there. I feel like game one was very fun. Maybe game two, not so much, but I don't know. I don't know.
All right, well, I love this. We've got Awasi and Fox pushing straight towards the center, not bothering with any air of their own, just putting up one air tower. And of course, with the Aeon range, that's going to cover like half of this center section.
Yep, very nicely done.
There's
And
that.
yeah, just typical, I feel like Foxtermelon strategies, like pushing toward the center, taking that aggressive stance as Aeon. Probably going to see a couple of forward land factories and an eventual PD push, and not really bothering with expanding around too much, which is, of course, of benefit, especially with these planes. You can really maximize your defensive coverage of anti-air.
Yeah, and I think this is something that Fox really loves to do, especially when there is mass to take in the center of the map. He wants to sit on those mass deposits and get that income advantage and be in his opponent's face.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, I see
Now,
Feldu
Alpha
in the
Hex.
chat. Hey, haven't
Ah,
seen you in a long time.
now, Alpha Hex did start out with a research station in his build here. So he's going to be a little bit behind. Oh, what is that?
That is
Fox.
nasty. You said you
Fox.
can't have fun.
Oh, this is brutal. All right, so we all know what this is. This is the TML rush, and on a small map like this, it is just going to be. Uh, I hope that Alpha saved some research
He
points.
did.
And sure enough, yep, we've got slip tax rolling off the
Oh
line
my
right
god. That's why I think Fox might have mistargeted the first volley of that TML, because normally you should go for the core mass extractors first, and then you take out the ones that probably are not as easily defendable. So I feel like a little bit of a mistake here from Foxtermelon, but whatever,
now.
still going
I
to
mean,
accomplish a lot.
yeah, in the long run, not that big of a mistake.
Split?
Oof. Okay, okay. Only two go down. Could have been worse.
Yeah, I feel like
But
we
yeah,
need
this
to
is
start
just
pushing.
this is just such a dominant position in the center right now. And frankly, I don't know why Alpha Hex hasn't gone for some MMLs. Because he's not going to be able to push straight up to that TML and knock it out. So something with a little range, I feel like, is called for here.
Yeah, perhaps a little panic. I feel like a cone gets a little stage fright when I cast him. So we'll see. We'll see. He is building up quite a nice air number here. Of course, there isn't too much for him to really pick off, but eventually those planes are going to number considerably more than what these anti-air upgrades on the base factories of our anti-Aeon team can deal with. So we shall see.
Yeah, Alpha Hex doing a great job of getting those slip tacks spread out to cover all of the economy as best he can here.
Wow, one slip tack is enough to counter a volley. That's interesting.
If it's positioned just right and there's nothing else going on, yeah.
Huh. That's pretty nice. There's one more mass extractor that can be picked off, but I'm not sure Fox realizes that that one's there. Wait, was there a plane that came from somewhere? No. That was just a very long-ranged anti-air tower.
Yeah, I mean, God, this is going to be so hard for Alpha Hex and a Cone to break. This position in the center is really strong. It's easy to defend from every angle,
Yeah.
and there's only
And
so many angles it can be attacked from on the ground.
yeah, and it looks like anti-Aeon here is trying to use the opportunity, the opening that the planes were across the map here to maybe engage here, although they've taken the sweet time. They were a little indecisive about this. Going to engage here with Alpha Hex. Planes are coming in.
Okay.
That
Eh,
was a great bomb, but
yeah. But Alpha Hex shoving right into that choke point in the factories there and getting a little bit of cover. I don't know. I feel like the anti-Aeons could have stayed a little bit longer and maybe gotten some damage done, but
yeah, it's difficult because Alpha Hex actually, I feel like he should have pushed forward once his air was, or Icon's air engaged, because he could have picked off some stray tanks that were just being microed, but he kind of stayed in between the buildings. So I think both teams are playing very cautiously here in Game 3, understandably so. Playing for the
well,
money here.
this three tank hit squad on the south here isn't being very cautious, but damn, they've taken out almost all his slip tags. That's going to open up a lot of room for this TML.
Oh, yeah, that's really good point. More slip tacks are being sent forward, but more mass extractors are going to fall for a cone, limiting what his partner can really do because we do need more units. Eventually, we're going to get outrun here.
We do have Volthu gunships coming up here,
Ooh.
which is a great move, but I don't know, maybe because they are kind of slow to move around, so maybe that transition should have come a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
But
and I think Anti-Aeon is picking up on this. They're building a bunch of anti-air towers, but honestly, the gunships are so dangerous. You get enough of them, especially with teleport. It's going to be very difficult to really do anything about them, especially once they get shields. All right, we are going to
no
push
real
forward.
indication yet. I was going to say no real indication yet of where our, West team's research is really going, other than those slip tacks.
Yeah, and the gunships, right? But
Well, and the gunships. But
yeah,
otherwise, we
probably
don't know if they're going for
teleport.
teleport. But
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
guessing there's
it
going to
would
be
be
a
a thing.
combined efforts.
I don't know. Alpha Hex likes to do some weird stuff sometimes, so I wouldn't be surprised to see an experimental coming
Yeah. Well,
out.
maybe not in
Even an
game
Urchinout
3.
wouldn't terribly surprise me.
Maybe not in game 3
I don't
for
know.
the money.
Sometimes, though, surprise is your best weapon.
Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even mind an additional TML. I think there was a
Yeah, I
little bit
don't
of a
know.
mistake by a cone. He flew over with his planes over anti-air, which is nice because that cuts down the targets that will later have to be focused on the gunships.
And these gunships now swinging around. I don't know. Are they looking to poke into the base or just get a position on the army? It's so hard to tell what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they keep changing their mind.
I don't think he has enough to really snipe. Actually, there is a lot there. So let's see if there's any honker available. But those gunships are going
And this
down
is a
rather
big
quickly.
fight now. Well, and this is a big fight now too over on the left-hand side. Uh, Factory's going down, and the commander's retreating all the way back into the base. And yeah, lots of those gunships are going down. Oof, that was expensive.
Yeah, and it
Did
didn't get a whole
I
lot
just hit
done at all. Did it kill anything?
building or two, I think. And hmm, I was trying to figure out if I just saw Foxtermel and teleport, but oh no, Akon's ACU is trapped in a corner, and
Ooh.
okay, we got a teleport from Alpha Hex to come to his rescue here,
And Alpha Hex does have shields on his units, so I think they're going to clean this up.
and another teleport from Awasi straight onto Alpha Hex, and his commander's down to about half health now, but these gunships,
I
I don't
don't
know.
think
Okay,
they
he's
can do
moving
it.
back to his. No, I don't think so either. Especially not with Alpha Hex's reinforcements coming up to rescue him here.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a little bit of a reset on the army, but man, that was a lot of infrastructure damage.
Yeah. That's a lot of production. Like, their core mass and their research is still there, but yeah, yeah. They're going to just build right back up. Although the army they do have right now is mostly anti-air. They actually need to push back and maybe even build a bunch of PDs here. Because that army is like 90% anti-air, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't know. I would probably just chunk off half of that and send it back to defend the main base from these gunships, and then switch focus again to building fighting units. But uh, Fox only has 4 factories here, and I feel like at 13 minutes in the game,
Yeah.
could have had a lot more and
Yeah.
made that transition
Snipe
easier.
attempt.
And we can get a little scouting teleport into the base here.
That's an expensive scout right there. It's like 5 or 6 units. Gunships getting picked off in the main base. Not really cost effectively. There's a shield in that factory. Very nicely done by Awasi.
I mean, there are some angles here where a cone could poke in and get some damage done, but um, with his big threat on the front and how slow gunships are, he might need to bring those back for the defense.
Yeah, I feel like Awasi needs to go and teleport his units. He should have plenty of energy. Not sure why only 1 tank went there. Another scout, maybe?
Could be. Well, Alpha Hex is doing a fantastic job rebuilding his economy and production here.
Yeah, that was very quick on the reset, I will say. But that's because, again, they didn't really manage to pick off any mass extractors, and they left a bunch of free mass on the ground. So yummy, yummy mass for Hexcone. Oh, teleport. There is going to be most likely a snipe attempt here. Counter teleport from Awasi. I don't think this should be getting anything, but we will see.
No. No, especially hiding under that shield, it's going to take too much damage on Fox's ACU through the shield before those tanks get cleaned up.
Maybe if there was a subsequent teleport with the gunships, it looks like the gunships are going to come in here as well. No, they're very indecisive. Oh my goodness,
well,
why?
I mean, those tanks didn't really get that much done.
Like, literally, he's flying over anti-air, just going back and forth. There's a little bit of nerves, I think, there for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is a good game now. Yeah, Alpha Hex realizes this, and good job to to Fox Tremolin and Awasi. I gotta say, Awasi, I feel like has improved considerably since I've last seen him a few years ago. But very well done, and they're in the money, so they're going to be facing up Nuclear Pizza and Rainbows up next. You don't want to miss it, guys. We'll be right back.